Oh, Trey, any tidbits over
Oh,
Nolan Odyssey controversy?
oh, there's tons. I'm contemplating making a video kind of covering at least some of it where there's a lot of stuff. Like when the trailer came out, I kind of didn't like the armor designs. I kind of didn't like
Hmm.
the look of the movie. The look of the movie looked too much like Dune. It looked like stark blacks and whites and grays and drab colors and stuff. And like I don't know, if you're doing something set in like the Bronze Age, you could have so much fun doing cool colors and heraldry. It's like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones where like you want the fun armor and the fun colors and all that. Like it just makes it more
Hmm.
interesting.
Trey,
I
can
want
I
it to be
ask you if you've
dour
ever
and
seen
depressing. Da-
Yeah, everyone wants to go dour and depressing with everything now, and it's just like we don't
I
need that.
know everything's
Like,
that's
so
kind of
muted.
Nolan's
like,
thing. Trey, have you ever seen
like
Brad Pitt's Troy? I watched it recently. I really liked
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. There's parts of me that like Brad Pitt's Troy, like like I actually really like Sean Bean as Odysseus in that movie. He is like, he's he's like barely in the movie. And he actually does like a pretty fun Odysseus performance. Where they have the fucking D-Day landers. They have like the little, they like open up like. There's some very great performances in that Troy movie. Like the guy playing Menelaus and Agamemnon, they're nailing it. Like Sean Bean's nailing it as always. Peter O'Toole, what is Sneakers O'Toole? What is his name as King Priam? He does a great performance there. Like there's some strong performances. Like there's stuff that like I don't know. I do a little differently, Like, but
But
but I
is
it's
that
fine.
controversy? I mean, like having bad costumes, is that really controversial? Like what's the
No, like the
controversy?
controversy, I guess, is the people being racist. The people that are like they don't like black
Oh,
people in it. They
and
don't
being
like
anti-trans.
and anti like okay. The controversy I'm interested in focusing on is that Nolan talked about the translation of the Odyssey that he used is
Mm.
a scholar named Emily Wilson, and she a couple years ago she published a very I actually really like Emily Wilson's translation of the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's very good. She's a classicist, a Greek scholar who translated and put a lot of thought into her translation and tried to make it for her own reasons more simplistic language. Like a lot
Mm.
of older translations go like with the thou and the arts, and it sounds like Shakespeare or King James Bible kind of thing. And she argued that like that's not how Homer would have sounded like to an ancient Greek, and then also like it makes it not accessible to us, and it like clouds kind of the way that you interpret the text, like
Yeah, I
um
like that. I like that approach. Yeah.
yeah, and people heard her talk about that, and like they hate her for several reasons, like that they think that she has cheapened the Iliad and the Odyssey by using more simplistic language. Um, and like for example, like she translates. There's a word that's attached to Odysseus. He's polytropos, like he's a man of many turns, he's a man of many twists, and she translates that as complicated man. I'm going to tell you a story of a complicated man.
Mm.
And like there's some 4chaners that just like post her translation alongside a whole bunch of other ones, like older ones, and like look at this woke like modern liberal like professor woman trying to cheapen the Odyssey. They like
There
the
it is.
movie got criticized for having like the word daddy in it, like they
Yeah.
We
like
talked about that briefly, right,
you talked
Preston?
about
Like
that, like
how, uh,
and her translation has daddy. It's used once. First of all, she only
Yeah.
uses it once, and it's used by a child for a word that is basically the ancient Greek equivalent of like papa or daddy, like or and here's the thing: is translators before her have done the same thing and had no criticism.
Yeah, yeah, of
Like
course. Well,
it's
she's a woman, and it's my
it basically boils down that she's a woman with tattoos and a professor, and people conservatives hate that, because conservatives
Mhm.
don't like that. And like there's like I saw this tweet that was saying that she inserted gay relationships into the Iliad. Like it's like her translation emphasized gayness in a way that, and
was it
then
with
it's like
Huh,
Achilles?
the first time
yes.
I've ever heard about Greeks being gay.
Yes. Like that's the thing. It's like I hate to break it to you, but that's in there. Like first of all, like I because I'm planning to do a video about this. Like what are they citing? Like, what's your example of her inserting gay relationships into the story? And like, I have found no example. Like, they're just saying it's in there, and I'm just like, what's in there is what's in Homer originally. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, Homer is very like in ancient times, people were unclear about the relationship between Achilles and Patroclus, like the two heroes, the two warriors. Like, it is intentionally vague in Homer, and people in ancient times, like in classical Greece, debated what the nature of their relationship was. And the majority opinion in ancient times was that they were like a same-sex relationship, that it was a romantic relationship within like a minority who claimed that it was just a relationship between friends.
Well, this is what I find about almost any story. Almost any story with two characters, people start talking about them romantically. It doesn't matter what story it is. Like, do I think that when Shakespeare wrote Hamlet, he had the Oedipus complex with Hamlet and his mom? I don't. But everybody is just like, there's an Oedipus thing. He wants to fuck his mom. Like that's just like there. But it's only because there's characters there. There's characters, like, you put two characters on screen, on page, on stage. Everyone's like, are they romantic? You know, you put Spock and Kirk. And everyone's like, they're gay. You know, like, okay, well, like, all the characters, when you pop them on stage together, everyone's like, are they gonna fuck? Like, that's just human nature, is to take anybody in a story and saying they're fucking. Like, that's it. Bert and Ernie, they're fucking. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
years ago,
it's the first thing that people do. Like, I remember when, like, the John and Sansa stuff, like, Sansa's gonna arrive at the wall, and immediately everybody's like, John Sansa shipping, are they gonna get married? Like, those are the first things. Like,
they find evidence for it. They find they're like, yeah, Sansa had a crush on Royce when he was visiting Winterfell, and he kind of looks like John. And then John has a thing for redheads, so he has a thing for Sansa. Like, it's like they're
Trey, I gotta call
like,
you out on this. Trey, I gotta call you out on this because you kind of pushed the John Satin thing a little.
People, I don't actually believe in the John.
No, he's just being funny.
I've seen people,
because it's such a fanfic thing.
It's fun as much as that is really funny, and I see the funny fan art of like the little gay John Satin thing. Like, people have hyper fixated on it, where they're like, in the battle that Satin's introduced, it's like John calls him pretty or something like that, or in his mind refers to Satin as attractive or pretty or prettier than most girls he's ever met or something like that. And people have interpreted that. It's like, why is John thinking that? Why is John thinking that? It's a battle. Why is he focusing on how attractive Satin is? And it's like, that's just George describing the scene, you know, like he has like Arya describing things very poetically and beautifully. And like, that doesn't mean Arya like is aware of like the beauty of the arches of Bravos or something, you know, like Arya's a little kid, like I think it's
Preston,
just George describing the scene. But
Preston wasn't there for the Duncan Lionel stuff that we saw on Twitter all the time during Night of the Seven Kingdoms. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I'm just like, I'm saying it's just on a base level. Like, I don't even like that no matter what characters are on screen, people are going to envision them romantically. Like,
people like that. Like, people, like, you see two attractive people, you want to put them together. That's just human nature, kind of, to do that.
Trey, I need to send you the Odyssey miniseries with Armando Monte. Have you ever seen it? Because if not, I can send it to you.
I watched it in high school. I'm gonna probably watch it again because I'm in like an Iliad Odyssey kind of mood. Just because, first of all, Emily Wilson's translation is one that people fucking hate. Like these thing that right wingers have like decided that they hate like that it's like she's destroyed. There was all these posts about it. I like took screenshots because it was like this crazy thing online where you see all these people coming out of the woodwork going like she's destroying Western civilization and stuff, and you're just like, it's a translation of the Odyssey. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, you could read older ones still, you know, you could read T.E. Lawrence's translation. You can read like the 1800s one. Like, it didn't destroy anything, you know, like, But yeah. Like it's funny, and it's funny people trying to act like ancient Greeks or like did not like that. That is if like making ancient Greeks gay is bad. Like is a tab. Like how dare you make the ancient Greeks gay? Like that is horrible.
I mean, I think it's weirder that in 300 they tried to make the Spartans
boy
straight.
lovers line.
Right, yeah, that was the weird thing is when they tried to make the Spartans straight in 300. I was like, "What are you?"
They have that line where they call Athenians those Athenian boy lovers. I remember this, and it's
and they make Xerxes like, you know, androgynous and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Like the Spartans were it's like the pinnacle of gayness.
For Spartans in particular, it's very jarring. Where Spartans were probably the gayest of the Greek city states from what we know about them. There's this whole like Spartan mirage kind of thing where you don't know much about the Spartans from like their own sources, but like there's a thing that Spartan men apparently had a difficult, and this is probably like, you know, slander for like from like Romans or something like that, but Spartan men had difficulty having sex with women. This is the thing, and they had their wives had to dress up as a man for them to be able to perform sexually. This is, of course, like a joke in antiquity. This is something that people made up, but it's very indicative of like the idea that people had of Spartans at that time, that Spartans were a very gay culture.
So, by the way, on a little tangent, what I think is rather strange about people's perceptions about heterosexuality and homosexuality in antiquity is people act like it was either completely open and accepted, or, you know, or it didn't exist at all. Which when it's very clear that they were still having the same battles we have today. Like when they bring up that Nero had a boyfriend at one point, like that, it was in Suetonius, like, it's clearly being used as a way to insult Nero. You know, like no one was, you know, so like clearly there is a segment of the society that is against homosexuality. And clearly there's a segment of society that thinks it's fine. And so I always thought it was funny, like when they bring up like the symposium and they're talking about these philosophers, like in their conversation, they're completely fine with homosexuality and many of them are homosexuals, but that's one little segment, right?
You're seeing like the aristocratic opinion of like the philosopher. You're right that like it is a problem of sources where we don't know what the common person felt about this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can look at they were a very diverse society with opinions all over the place, you know.
From like the best I think that you can get is from like plays, which are for like the common people, and like you have instances where characters in plays say that they prefer men over women or something. Like there's like this like assumed bisexuality of like the society, and that certain people had an inclination for one or the other. Like I think that's the
right, but you never know. Like modern Indian cinema shows these incredibly progressive people running all over the place, dancing, having their musical numbers, and their society is incredibly strict, you know, or like you could, you know, or you could take the reverse. And I mean, not so much now, but for many, many years, they wouldn't show interracial relationships on TV very much, even though they existed in society all over the place. Or like men and women sleeping in the same bed. Like everybody slept in the same bed, but on TV, they were in separate beds. And when no one lived like that, you know? So I don't know if entertainment necessarily is a mirror of what the common person is thinking or doing.
That's true. And you're right that all of our sources are from like aristocratic, upper class, like philosopher type. You can have like Greek, like there's Greek art and like ancient art that depicts like sex acts and stuff. So you get to see like what was the norm, like, but is that even the norm? Like when you go into Pompeii and you see like the sex acts depicted in like frescoes above the beds and stuff, like, is that what the average person did? Like, I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, you could take something that's very, very common. I use the example of fake boobs, right?
Yeah.
Fake boobs are, in fact, all over the place. And all of us watch movie and entertainment and porn with people, with women with fake boobs. And But would you just say that, like, would you regularly say, if somebody said like, oh, do women normally get fake boobs in society? I'd be like, it's like, you still don't think it's like a normal thing, because you have this like idea of, this is how many women I know in my life, and the number of fake boobs is down here. And so, or at least the ones I know about, you know? And so it's like, you know, I'm like, well, you know, I could maybe argue that like 2% or 3% of the women I know have fake boobs. So I wouldn't consider fake boobs like a regular normal part of modern society, despite the fact that every actor on TV and every porn person, 2%, whatever, 1% of America is literally millions of women with fake boobs, right? And so it's these odd things of like, what is considered normal and what is considered like commonplace and stuff like that.
And it's hard to, you're right, from our sources that survive, it's very hard to parse that out. Like, what are the norms? That Nolan. I just got somebody, I see somebody in the comments saying, I think people took issue with Wilson interpreting all the servant helper roles as slavery and is using girls instead of women for shock value where the text doesn't call for it. I'm taking a screenshot of this right here, because this is an example of somebody misinterpreting what Wilson's translation actually says. Wilson's translation. Previous translations would translate stuff as like slut or whore for certain words. And Wilson has gone into the Greek and been like, if you actually look at the Greek, the wording is neutral. It does not have a negative connotation either way. It says women that slept with men or something like that. Older translators have decided to translate it with this negative, like blaming the women, you know, like a slut, right? Because
women that sleep with men are sluts, you know. So therefore, you know,
but and Wilson
like, I have the sentence,
Like Wilson points out that like previous translations would translate stuff as servant. In the original Greek, it's slave. Like, you know, that's an important distinction. Like, they're not like, it's not like what's that show that British people watch?
Are you being served?
Downton Abbey,
Downton
or whatever.
Abbey. Yes, Downton Abbey.
No, they're not like little maids that go into your house. Like, no, these are people. These are enslaved people that are property who exist for the purpose of like to have sex with. Like that's what ancient slavery was like. So like she's accurately translate, like that is a more accurate translation, I think, than doing like maid or servant or something. That's not like, I don't think that's woke, you know. Like this is an example of somebody not looking at Wilson's like her reasoning. And Wilson explains this in like the in her introduction and stuff. She gives and she has annotations. She explains
what you're saying is her translation is actually pretty good, and these people coming out of the woodwork and criticizing her don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, I know that's surprising. And a lot of times I don't think they've even read it. I don't even think they've read it. I don't even think.
Of course they haven't. You think like these guys creating like clickbait YouTube channels are sitting around reading like different translations of the Odyssey and like, I mean, it's a boring story, man. It goes on.
As somebody who, because I read bits of, like in high school, you read the Cyclops incident. Like everybody reads the Cyclops thing. That's all you read. Like that's all you read in high school. And like I finally took the time to like read it all the way through. And you're right. It's a pretty boring story. Like most of the story is people talking in rooms, and most of the story is oddly told in flashback. You know, like Odysseus comes home like 2/3 of the way through the story, and there's a whole third of the story that is just devoted to him just like wandering around at home, talking to various people while he's in disguise for a very long time, for way longer than it needs to be. And like there's a point, it's like Frankenstein, where there's like a flashback within a flashback within a flashback. You're like, this is some chaos here. Like this is like, I do not think Elon Musk has read this stuff. Like when Elon Musk like says that Emily Wilson is destroying Western culture, I don't think ketamine high off his ass all the time Elon Musk is reading any of this.
I mean, he clearly hasn't read a first page of an econ textbook, even though he claims he has. He claims he went to business school.